We are going over 5 signs something amazing is coming your way and you will manifest. Stick around to see if one of these signs resonates with you or how you can start applying one of them into your life. That's coming up next. Hi guys, it's Dave here, and this is HeartSpace if you're new to the channel, where we are releasing videos every single day to help you live life more your way. So if that sounds good, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell icon. Now, I want to go over these 5 signs, and what I want you to do is, as I'm going over them, hit that like button when one of them applies to you to confirm it, and also make sure you let me know in the comments which ones apply to you, and you can even give me a little bit more detail on how they apply to you and how they're showing up in your life. And before we start, I want you to also write in the comments, I am deserving of amazing things coming into my life. And again, we do this to help you rewire your brain in order to start identifying with something that's a little more empowering, that's actually going to help you a little bit more. And so you can also start taking a little bit of action towards what we're going to be talking about instead of just passively watching this video and then forgetting about it the moment you leave. So make sure you put that down below, and we'll start in reverse order as normal with number 5. And number 5 is actually a very, very, very powerful one. And the first sign, or number 5 sign that amazing things are going to come into your life, that you're going to manifest, is that you consistently step into your fears. You know, so many people who have gotten to their fulfilling life, that have gotten to success, that are living a life both inwardly and outwardly that they love, they all seem to say that whatever you want in life is on the other end of your comfort zone. And it's so true. You know, so many people love to stay within their comfort zone, but there is no expansion within your comfort zone. For example, so many people don't like to do certain things because of what other people will think. And it's within their comfort zone to do what those people think, because then they don't have to worry about being ridiculed or judged or whatever it is by other people for doing something different. But if you face your fears just a little bit every single day, you will start to build the muscle and start to see that it's okay to step into your fears. Because I think what the biggest fear people have is their fear of the unknown. And so if they don't step into their fears, they don't know what that feels like, they think that they're going to die or this incredibly terrible thing's going to happen if you take that action, that a lot of fear comes up when you're going to take it. They think, well, I don't know what's going to happen. But when you start just facing your fears in just a small way every single day, it starts not only preparing you for the bigger ones you may be taking later on, but it starts to show you, wow, I did that thing that I feared, and not only did good things come out of it and I feel so much better for doing it, nothing bad happened. I'm still here. These terrible things I thought were going to happen didn't happen. And so one strategy I've been doing recently is I will actually measure how fearful a thing is in any given day, and then I'll go do it. So I'll be like, I want to go do this, but I have a slight social anxiety of going to do this thing, like going to talk to someone, for example. And I'm like, how much on a scale of 1 to 10 is that? That's like a 4. Let's just go off and do it. And throughout my day, I'm always doing these little 3, 4s, and 5s that I may not do, just because there's a little bit of fear and it's easier just not to go do them. But then I realize, like, if I can just move through this simple little fear, I'm going to feel better, and I'm going to keep proving to myself that I can move through my fears no matter how big, no matter how small, and I'm going to build up almost like this bank of going through my fears no matter how small they are. And so just start small every single day. When a little fear pops up, for example, you want to go talk to that person and there's a little bit of fear that comes up, just go, I'm just going to go talk and see what happens. Maybe you want to ask for something but you fear asking for what you want. Just ask and see what happens, and keep acting upon these little fears, and they will add up. But if you are facing your fears and that's something you're doing, again, even on a small scale, it is a huge sign that things are going to start coming into your life. Because again, all the good things you want in life are on the other end of your comfort zone, or on the other side of fear. Now, number 4 is you follow your heart despite the unknowns. And I'm starting to go through this kind of transition recently as well, where I'm being called to follow my heart, to do something that's against the norm, to do something a little, not controversial, but a little, again, just outside the norm. And the reason it's scary is because it's unknown. Because I have to give up some security to go do it. I have to give up what I know, my comfort zone, in order to go do this thing. But if you're someone that is constantly following your heart, your passion, your intuition, despite the unknown, it is a huge sign that big things are going to be coming into your life, that you are going to start to manifest. Because guess what? That feeling you get in your heart, that feeling you get into your intuition is not a coincidence. It is a very real thing, a guidance system that will never lead you astray. And the more you can follow that, the more you can root yourself in that heart space, the more you are going to have all of the things that you ever wanted come into your life. The more you're going to manifest, the more you're going to feel fulfilled. And the more you feel fulfilled, the more the external environment will mirror that internal feeling. And so if you are following your heart, despite the unknowns, despite it not being clear what's going to come out of it, despite having no idea what's going to happen, if you are still continually doing that, following your heart on a consistent basis, like going over the first one we went over, just moving despite your fears, it is a sign big things are going to come into your life, and they kind of have to eventually. Number 3 is you are constantly learning, and not just any kind of learning, because anyone can just pick up random books and start learning new things, learning new skills or whatever it is, but you are learning on an intuitive level. And what I mean by that is you are allowing your heart, your intuition to guide you towards what it is your soul actually wants to learn. For example, when I go into a bookstore, sometimes I'll be drawn to a certain book and not know why. But I know it is my intuition taking me towards this book or the wisdom within this book, because there is something that I need to learn to expand that is contained within that book. For example, there have been so many books, so many videos, so many wisdom teachers that I have just been drawn to, not in a heady way, not in an intellectual way, but in an intuitive way, because my soul knows that by listening to these teachers, by reading this material, by watching these videos, that I am going to learn something. I am going to expand my awareness in some way that is going to serve me. And the more you can expand your awareness in this way, the more you are learning the methods that are going to help you evolve spiritually to move more into what you truly are, the more amazing things are going to come into your life, the more you are going to manifest. Because again, this is all energy playing out, guys. When you're getting these feelings, it's an energetic feeling that's leading you to things that's going to raise your energetic frequency. And guess what? The higher up the frequency levels you go, the closer you start getting to emotions like love and joy and things like this, the more you're in that place, the quicker you manifest, the quicker your thoughts will turn into things, the quicker amazing things will come into your life. And so if you're learning from a place of guidance, not just learning because you're like, I've got to read a book every single week and I have to learn, from an ego place because I want to be the person who's like, yeah, I read a book every single day, every single week, I'm learning, and you're doing it from that place. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, sure, that might give you some results in a certain direction, but it's not going to really help you too much evolve unless your soul is telling you to do that thing. But if you're allowing yourself to learn from a soul level, allowing your soul to guide you to the material, to the wisdom that it is trying to pull you towards, then you're going to find amazing things are just going to start coming into your life. You're going to find that you're going to start picking up things and go, oh my God, this is amazing. It's going to start connecting the pieces, connecting the dots. And if you're drawn to content like this, that is probably what's happening. There's probably a reason you clicked on this video, for example. But just understand, when it comes to learning, it's not about learning just everything, because there's so much information out there, guys. There's only so much energy you can put on things, though. And so if you allow that energy, that intuition to guide you in what you should learn, or in what, out of all these potentialities you can learn, you will find that it will never take you to the wrong things. And in fact, it will always draw you to the thing that you need right now in this moment. Sign number 2 that something amazing is coming your way is you find yourself in flow just more often than not. And guys, flow is optimal state. This is when things start to become effortless. This is when things just seem to just happen like naturally. This is when you're just so hooked into the moment that you forget about past and future. And everyone's experienced this, being in the zone, being in flow, floating with the river instead of trying to struggle upstream and fight the current, or being stuck on the rock in the current, not knowing where to go and not knowing what to do, or holding on out of fear. You're just in flow, just, going along with the river, allowing it to take you where it does, just with this energy of effortlessness as you're doing the things that you do. It's the kind of energy I feel when I create videos like this. I just get so energized. I feel so much love. I feel so in flow. The words are just coming up fairly naturally. I don't have to think too hard about it, if at all, because I'm in a flow state. And if you find yourself in this state more often than not in your day, and you are actually acting upon it, you are doing your work from this place, you are allowing yourself to expand from this place, it is a huge sign that something amazing is coming your way, that you are going to manifest faster and faster and faster. Because once again, to be in that flow state, you have to follow your intuition. You have to be following that inner guidance that's going to lead you to those things that are effortless. Nothing will feel more like a struggle than when you are doing things that are against what your heart is leading you towards. And I've done plenty of that in my life, and I know how it feels. For example, creating videos around things maybe I don't necessarily believe in or aren't expanding me. Those videos, although maybe even take less time to film, always feel like a struggle. The time I spend doing those kind of videos, it feels like, oh my God, this is such a drag, and I don't want to do this, and I don't feel excited about it. But when I do videos like this, I'm so excited. It's effortless. It goes on, and I'm like, wow, this was a 15-minute video, a 20-minute video that feels like it was 5 minutes, or wow, this was only a 7-minute video. I felt like I was talking for 30 minutes, just getting into the zone here. And if you can bring that type of energy into most things you do in your everyday life, ooh, guys, big things are going to be coming your way. All right, number one, guys, is such an important one. And it's one I'm learning to use more and more in my life, and I've been experiencing. And this is such a counterintuitive one for so many people, but when you can master this, this is when things will start to happen for you, when you start to realize that life is happening for you. And so number one is to celebrate all things in your life, even the so-called negative things, to celebrate the bends in the river, as my mentor would say. Because so many of us, we look at something maybe we perceive as not great happening to us. And instead of thinking, well, everything happens for a reason, everything happens in divine timing, maybe this is a setup for something greater to happen, we bemoan it, we resist it, we don't allow it, we deny it, we don't want it. And because of that, we perpetuate these bad feelings. We're allowing ourselves to react to a certain event, and it's just an event. When you look at something, it's an event, and there's nothing more attached to that event until we attach a story to it. So for example, maybe you get some money out of nowhere. The story you attach to that is usually a positive one, but let's say money leaves out of nowhere in your life, you usually attach a negative story to that one. Yet it's just an event when you boil it down. Money either came in or money left. But when you attach these negative emotions to something, it doesn't serve you. And remember, like attracts like. And so if you put a negative spin on something, you attach a negative story to something, if you are bemoaning the bends in the river, then you are just going to get more of that. But if you celebrate the bends in the river, if you say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to celebrate the money leaving because maybe it's circulating and money ebbs and flows, and that just means it's opening me up to receive way more. I'm just going to celebrate and be like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? I'm so excited. Maybe, for example, a relationship in your life ends. And instead of feeling sorry for yourself, instead of going like, I'll never find someone like that again, they were such a good friend or such a good romantic partner or whatever it is, maybe instead you go, wow, maybe this is what was meant to be and we were never meant to have that relationship, and it's opening me up to something even grander, even greater. And so start celebrating everything in life. Celebrate that you are here to begin with, that you are a divine, co-creative, perfect being that is just experiencing. The point of life is not to be happy. If you want to be happy, just think happier thoughts. The point of life is to experience, is to expand. And when you understand that also our life is a duality, it is a dichotomy. You could not experience the highs without the lows. You cannot experience the ups without the downs. You cannot know what one is except in relation to the other. And so if you never went through the bends in the river, if you never stepped on the dark squares on a chessboard, let's say the white squares represent the good things in life and the dark squares represent the bad. If you never stepped on one, you would never know the other. You would never have the thrill of having the money come in if you didn't know the absolute I don't know what you would call it, desperation of it leaving. But you still get to choose how you react to all of it. And so if you start celebrating the bends in the river, if you are celebrating the bends in the river, it is a sign amazing things are going to happen, because life is change. Life is an ebb and flow. Life is a cycle. And when you understand that life is a cycle, things will come and things will go. And if you can celebrate all of it as the cycle, divine perfect cycle, the divine perfect formula that it is, then you are only going to encourage more good things to come into your life. And so that is sign number one. Such an important lesson, sign number one, one that so many people, including myself, this is something I'm still learning, takes such a long time to acclimate to. But if you really can start celebrating those bends in the river and do it genuinely, big things are going to come quicker and quicker. You're going to manifest and have a beautiful life faster than anything else. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for being here, for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. Please, if any of these signs resonate with you, I want to hear about it. I don't want to just hear, sign 1, 2, and 3 or whatever resonate with me. I want to hear why. I want to hear your story about them. If you don't want to share that, just let me know the number. But I would very much like to hear some of your thoughts and how these signs resonate with you, how they've manifested themselves into your life. I'm very curious to be able to get to know you guys a little bit more in that way. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.